Hi everyone, I'm Cinder89. Welcome back to Let's Play Valkyria Chronicles. Let's start Chapter 3, Summons.
In March of 1935, the Empire began its invasion across Gallia's eastern border. Maximilian, commander of the Gallian invasion front, built his army around mobile armor. Ghirlandaio and the other fortresses along the border fell to his tanks in quick succession. Bruhl's fall in under 2 hours was typical of villages in the Empire's path, and the road to the capital bore a steady flow of refugees. Randgries, Gallia's capital, a town secure and stable since ancient times. Within its walls stood the castle Randgries, and within its unicorn spire resided Cordelia, Gallia's princess. Supporting Gallia's policy of neutrality was a system of universal conscription. Under it, all schools required military training each year. In the event of a war, citizens were then drafted into the militia to defend their country. As the conflict with the East grew worse, both Welkin and Alicia found themselves no exceptions to that fate.
So these are my new digs. Oh, my uniform. I should get changed before reporting in. Better get ready now. Flares, binoculars, a compass, and a map. Everything you need for a nice hike. Or combat.
Welkin? Can I come in?
Sure, it's open.
Oh, you're already changed too. Let's see. Not bad, not bad. You look good, actually. So, how about me? Do I look all right in this? Convincing?
Let's take a look. Yeah, you look fine. You wear it like a pro.
Really? You're not just saying that?
Of course not. You look tough. I like it.
Oh, good. I was worried it looked kind of silly.
No way. That plating on the back? It's like a coleopterate exoskeleton. Beetle-tastic.
Colio what? And did you just say beetle? Welkin? What kind of girl wants to hear that she looks like a bug?
Huh? Not just any bug. A rhinoceros beetle. King of the insects. Who wouldn't want that?
Huh. I guess I'll just try to take that as a very Welkin sort of compliment.
I'm gonna jump in here real quick. Yes, just take that as a very Welkin sort of compliment. To Welkin, that's like the best compliment in the world. He was like, king of the insects. But of course, nobody else would look at it that way. That's just Welkin. Again, you're getting some of its character. Another reason I love this game. Alright, let's continue.
Tell me about that scarf. You've been wearing it since I met you.
Oh, this? It's part of my uniform from the bakery.
Is that right?
I don't want to forget the time I spent busting my buns baking. I plan to keep wearing it until I can get back to manning the ovens again.
That's great. Once you do, I'll be first in line to get some of that bread.
Is that a promise? Well, I'll be sure to have plenty of it ready and waiting for you.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're ready, we should probably go see the captain now.
Alright, that ends this first episode. We have several more to do. There's quite a few episodes to watch here in Chapter 3, and you're going to start seeing that more because there's more plot, more story as we really start to dive in. Which is kind of good for me because, especially this episode, because I'm a little under the weather. So please forgive any coughing and things like that. But super excited. Show must go on. Let's go with episode 2. Squad 7 is born.
Come in.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Galleon Militia Enlistee Welkin Gunther, reporting for duty.
Ma'am, Galleon Militia Enlistee Alicia Melchiot, also reporting for duty.
I'm Captain Eleanor Varrot, commander of this regiment. Gunther, you're promoted to lieutenant. You'll be leader of Squad 7 now.
Ma'am!
Enlistee Melchiot, you're promoted to sergeant. You'll be under the lieutenant's command. Understood?
Ma'am!
What do you know? It is you. Nice coincidence, huh, Welkin?
Valdio? I had no idea that you'd enlisted.
Yep. Now that there's a real war going on, I joined up. Pretty much all the officer and training boys are here just like you.
You know each other.
Yes, ma'am. We knew each other at university. Welkin was in science and I was in archaeology. And just look at us now. No archaeology or science. Looks like the two of us are studying war, I guess.
Looks that way. It's good to see you.
And you.
That'll be all for now. There's a strategy briefing later today. But you still have time. Time for you to catch up. You'll be spending a lot of time on the post and in Randbreeze. They'll be your new home. So get to know them. That'll be all. Report back in time for the briefing. Until then, you're dismissed.
Alright, everyone. Oh, we're gonna have to explain all this. Oh well. Just like our new soldiers, I too will soldier on. So, we have Lieutenant Welkin Gunther. He's an officer now, and Sergeant Alicia Melchiot, who will be his second in command, you could say. This is really neat. So, Welkin is an officer. He's had some officer training, and from what we've already seen, don't you think he already has some officer qualities, some leadership, some smarts? Kind of fits the role. So, the first thing Lieutenant Gunther is going to need is, well, we have Squad 7. We kind of need to make Squad 7. Welkin is the, this is barracks, this is not where I get more people. Welkin's, official role is Tank Commander. Also a reason why he's in charge. He's an officer. He's also in charge of the squad's tank. Now that is not the tank stats, of course. That's actually Welkin's stats. He uses, when he's not in the tank, we've seen he uses a rifle, he has a grenade, and a ragnade. He acts like a scout. We've already seen that. Clothing, combat suit adds no additional defense, and likes, kind of get to that later. That's Squad 7 barracks. There we go.
It's good to see you doing the rounds. Welcome. This is the command room. Use it to structure your squad. You will have access to both drafted and volunteer recruits. Now that I think of it, Squad 7 is still short on soldiers, isn't it? I'll explain how this works. This is the master list. The recruits have all been assigned classes based on their talents. I should probably touch on the 5 classes, just so we're clear.
Oh.
First off, you have the scouts. Just like the name suggests, they'll be your eyes.
Thank you, Captain Varrot. But I'll probably add in some of my own experiences and talk about the classes as well.
Their best asset is their mobility. They can go out, collect intel, then make it back safely. That, and a keen eye for enemies. A good scout can spot a man in tall grass from 100 yards. That comes at the price of firepower. Their job is spotting enemies, not taking them out. Next up, the shock trooper. They're the ones to break through enemy lines and clean up.
Let me go back to the scout for a second. Like Varrot said, they're good at spotting enemies. What this means is, you know those whole sight lines? When you actually know where an enemy is at and you can see them on the command map? Scouts have a good range for that. And what she means by a lot of mobility, we've seen that. They have a lot of AP. You will see that other classes have nowhere near the amount of AP. Well, one class does. But for the most part, scouts are far above and beyond AP. How much AP they have over the other classes. They can move a lot. Use this. This is... scouts are really important for your team. And like Varrot said, they're not good. They're not great at taking enemies out. That's dependent on what you use. They have one grenade, remember? And also the rifle. If you get some good shots, they can take out other scouts and some other infantry as well. They just don't excel at it. Now let's get to the shock trooper, which does excel at it.
They offer excellent offense and defense. As far as combat goes, they're as good as it gets. While they lack any specialized techniques, they also don't have any obvious shortcomings. Think of them as the least finicky unit in your squad, Lieutenant.
And you should look at them that way. I love shock troopers. The machine gun they have is deadly. We actually saw that in the last mission that we did, where Alicia got hurt pretty bad by a shock trooper. They can throw down a lot of bullets and can do a lot of damage. They have decent AP, not great. But just like Varrot said, they're kind of the least finicky unit. I really like shock troopers.
We have Lancers, then anti-tank units. They're critical when facing armored targets. Their purpose is pretty self-explanatory. In most cases, they're the only way to stop a tank. They're also well shielded from explosives, which conveniently includes tank mortars.
Now we've seen how much damage a tank mortar can do. That won't do as much against the Lancer. Lancers are pretty well shielded against it. They are anti-tank units. That lance they have, if you remember at the very beginning of the game, in that cutscene where the Empire soldiers kind of stood by and then fired something at the tank, looked like a big lance. It was these guys. The lance, the part of the lance, I guess you could say the tip of the lance is explosive. It's an explosive. Think of it like a RPG or a law missile launcher. That's what it is. It's an anti-tank weapon. Now the other thing you have to take out tanks is, as we know, our tank. But Lancers will only take one CP, and may be able to get to some places that our tank can't. Lancers are important because the other units just can't deal with tanks.
Sadly, They're slow and weak to gunfire. Their limited ammo could also be called a drawback.
That's true. They typically only have 3 shells. So watch out for their ammo if they start firing more than once a turn.
Changing gears, we have the engineers. They handle supplies and perform combat support.
Literally changing gears like that. Haha.
They can restock other units' ammunitions, treat the wounded, even repair tanks on site. They can place sandbags for cover, disarm mines, repair towers, you name it. Their actual combat skills are very low. Think of them as combat facilitators.
They use a rifle similar to the Scout, but they're not very good at it. Virat has the key here, though. They are combat facilitators. Sandbags, mines, repairing towers that other units can use, and their chief thing they can do to me is, as engineers, disarm mines, which will be huge. You'll see. That's a huge skill that they have. The other main thing they do is they can repair the tank. Remember, there is no way for the tank to regain HP a turn. It does just magically heal. I told you that last episode, remember? But an engineer can repair it. It's nice to have a few engineers around. Just trust me on this. Also, they kind of act like a medic. They have a bigger Ragnade and are great at healing units. Keep a few engineers around. They'll come in handy.
Lastly, we have the snipers. They can shoot down targets from a considerable distance. You won't find better soldiers for marksmanship and range. They can hit targets I can barely see.
I want you to remember this. You won't find better soldiers for marksmanship and range. They can hit targets I can barely see, as Captain Virat says.
Sniping rifles also come with scopes that work to augment a sniper's natural eyesight. Drawbacks include low mobility and defense. If the enemy gets them alone, they're done for. That should cover the basics. Go ahead and put a squad together now. There's room for 20, and you can swap units at any time.
Alright. Now, Welkin doesn't count against the cap. And as you see, we have 3 soldiers. We have Alicia, Rosie, who's a shock trooper, and Largo, who's a lancer. We'll meet Rosie and Largo a little later. But they are main characters to the story and to the squad. Now, you get your pick. You have 17 additional open slots. Feel free to choose whatever you want. If you press Y for me, but if you press potential info, you can see that they have potentials. These tell you about the person. Desert allergy. An allergy to dust and sand leads to a steady drain of HP while in a sandy area. Chatty Cathy. Whenever a close friend is nearby, they just can't help but chit-chat. A distraction that lowers their accuracy. And Trooper Killer. Confidence that they can best any shock trooper grants a boost in attack abilities. Potentials go off when when it fits. So as soon as he walks into desert allergy is going to trigger. Know your units. Potentials can help make a battle easier or can help hinder you at the worst possible time. So for scouts, there's Melville, Ted, Wavy, Molly, and see they have full names. They all look different. You also see they have a blank for potential. That's units can get potentials as they level up. And we'll learn about leveling up here next. Nancy. Hey, see, there's a lot to choose from. And they'll all act different. They have, you know, different potentials. It's very cool. Put together a squad. They go by class. Then you have shock troopers. Then you have lancers. You have your engineers, and then your snipers.
Hello, I'm Catherine O'Hara. I look forward to joining you all.
Catherine's a personal favorite, so I'm definitely taking Catherine. Metalbred, standing in a grassy field helps them relax, enhancing their defense. Having less than half full HP makes them throw away hope for the future, meaning lessened defense. So when it goes bad, it goes really bad for Catherine. And camaraderie. Having allies of the same unit class nearby puts them at ease, raising their natural evasion. I've always liked Catherine. I've always had really good luck with her. So I'm definitely going with Catherine. And I'll pick the rest of the units off screen. And then I'll go over them quickly at the beginning of next episode. I want to get to the other things you can do here in town. Another quick note about snipers, because I really didn't go over them. It's just as Farad says. They have low AP, but they have a range that's far beyond any other unit. They're a sniper. Snipers aren't great now, but still nice to have. As you see, you only have 2, really, to choose from here. You might have 3. Yes, these lists are randomized, from what I remember, to a certain extent. Because the sniper rifle right now isn't that great. We'll go over that as well, which is why I really want to get going. But snipers are a deadly unit, and I highly recommend you get used to them. So go ahead and take one along. Take them along in your fights. Get used to them, because they'll help out a ton later. I gotta add units now. Darn. This is the only time. Yeah, you have to take 20 units now. You'll be unable to leave the command room with slots open. Later, you'll be able to switch in and out. Well, let's go ahead and do that now. This might be a long episode. I may just kind of throw... I have to remember what some of these are. Protecting the camp by sheer force of will. Helps them relax. Boosting their attack power. We'll take Nancy.
I'm Nancy DeFore. It's so good to meet you.
Take whoever you feel like would be helpful. So a lot of units will have a kind of bad potential, but don't let that deter you. Just take the ones that you think will really help. Country bed, bear. Yeah, I need somebody that's good on dirt. Attack power is lowered against shock troopers. Well, you're not going to do great against shock troopers anyway as a scout. Freesia York. And the chatty Cathy thing isn't that bad for a scout, because typically the scout is going to be off, well, scouting. That tends to happen. We'll take Freesia.
I'm Freesia York, handsome. I know you'll take real good care of me.
We will try. Let's take... How many scouts is that? 1, 2, 3. Take one more, and we'll take Susie.
My name is Susie Evans, sir. I realize I'm inexperienced, but I'll do all I can.
Thank you. Shock troopers. Need my shock troopers. Born leader. Yeah, bad back. Bending over to a crouch puts a strain on their weak back, causing a drop in defense. Which is I've never had great look at. Yeah, child in nature. Paved roads feel strange and cold, leading to a discomfort and lower defense. Smell of iron clears the head, leading to a boost in attack power. Know your units. These potentials do come into play. Taking Vice anyway. I like Vice.
The name's Vice Engelbart. Let's go kick this war in the teeth.
Yeah! Plus, you can also choose just depending on their, on how they act. See, because I don't think I see the shock trooper that I really like. Really like. We'll take Jane.
The name's Jane Turner. I'll do anything if it means putting holes in imps.
I like that what they say fits. Imp hater, pure hatred for the Empire yields a boost in accuracy. It fits. You can see, just purely hates the Empire. I really don't like pessimist because shock troopers get hit a lot. But we'll take Mika anyway.
Hello, I'm Mika Hawkins. I'll be serving under you from here on.
Just because I kind of like Mika. And I'll end up really going through the units again. I'm kind of hurrying a little bit. Let's take... Oh, take Yoko.
Hi there. I'm Yoko Martins. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
I like Yoko. Yeah, we'll take Walter.
The name's Walter Nash, buddy. Pleasure to be working with you.
Welcome aboard, Walter. I like his, like how he acts. 8 slots open, huh?
My name's Hector Calvi, sir. I'm at your service from today on.
Alright, and we need a few engineers. We haven't taken any engineers, right? Let's take a few engineers. Let's take, what shit, I don't remember. When holed up in camp, they cease to pay attention in the world outside, causing a drop in defense. That's fine. Claudia?
Hello, I'm Claudia Mann. I'll do my best to live up to your expectations.
Start with just take whatever sounds good. We'll take the other sniper for now. Take Oscar.
Hey, I'm Oscar Baylor. Thanks for taking me on board.
If you have 2 snipers, just go ahead and take both snipers. I do recommend that. Take whoever you feel like. Oh, let me go over likes real quick. When a unit is by a unit that it likes, it gets a boost to some things. If you ever played Fire Emblem, think of it like, oh, what is it called? When the units kind of talk to each other, have those conversations, and then they kind of have a synergy when next to each other. Think of it like that. If you've not played Fire Emblem, units that, if they like another unit that's nearby under their likes, they like that person, they get a boost to stats. I think that's how it works. I always forget. Oh, take Dallas.
My name is Dallas Wyatt. I'm excited to be joining up.
4 more, huh? Dallas, real quick. Desert allergy. Man-hater. Having man nearby triggers a constitutional loathing so powerful lowers accuracy. Yeah, it doesn't like guys. Fancies women. Having women around makes them want to look good, making them shoot with greater accuracy. Right. And you see their likes, they're all ladies. Alicia, Eddie, and Aika. Okay, that's what, 2 engineers? Let's take...
The name's Nina Strice, and I look forward to a good workout out there.
3 more. Let's take Hans. Haynes, sorry.
Reporting for duty, sir.
2 more. Yeah, jeez, I'm gonna have to end the episode. That's a shame. Really wanted to get all of the Rand Grease stuff out of the way. Kind of forgot that I can't back out and do that. Take a good mix of units as well.
I'm Homer Perron, here to fight together with you until this war claims my life.
Engineers, Largo, a lot of shock troopers, but I really like shock troopers. Deathly afraid of pointed objects being around Lancer's weapons make them hyperventilate, steadily losing HP. Huh. I remember you that well.
I'm Cherry Steinen, like with a J. It's silent, but, I'm not.
Obviously, she's not. Chatty Cathy. Child of nature and fancy. That's fine. There's 20.
Well, feel like you've struck a balance? Come back anytime you'd like to adjust your squad. As time passes, we'll have more recruits to choose from, so keep an eye on that list. Oh, and all the recruits go through training together, so they're all ready for combat. They'll be at the same level as the rest of the team you've taken into the field.
Which is great. That way you can switch out, try different units. See who you like, who you don't like.
You can swap out members without the worry of losing the benefit of their experience.
Which is nice.
Trust in your own judgment and pick a team you know you can work well with. That should be enough to get you started. You can figure out the rest as you go.
Wow. Squad leader's a lot of responsibility.
It is, Welkin.
Come to think of it, Faldio's heading up Squad 1, isn't he? I wonder if he's off sorting through this stuff now, too. I'd better get a move on.